Hi. So firstly, an apology for the lack of videos over the past couple of weeks. Life just got so insane. There was family junk and then a wedding and then I had a bunch of interviews and then volunteering and I had no spare time, no time at all to film anything, but I am back now and hopefully back on a regular uploading schedule. I mentioned volunteering, which is a great segue to the topic of this video today, which is Book Expo Australia. Book Expo Australia was over this weekend just gone, and I believe from what I remember from the website that it was the first event of its kind in Australia in like 20 years. So as soon as I heard about it, I knew that I absolutely wanted to be involved. So I volunteered straight away and planned, even if I wasn't picked to be a volunteer, that I was going to be there because it sounded amazing and I was so excited that it was coming and just that it was going to be there, and I was excited right from its announcement, and I'm still excited now. Now that it's over, I'm still excited. So yeah, I was picked to be a volunteer with my official lanyard. Overall, it was a absolutely amazing experience. Obviously, being in Australia and being super broke, too broke to travel other places for book-centric events, I don't have a point of reference. But as far as I can tell and as far as I'm concerned, it was an excellent event. It was so great. Especially for something in its first year. I expected a lot more things to go wrong. I had high hopes, but low expectations, if that makes sense. I thought this is the first year it's first time in 20 years something like this is happening. Probably everything is going to go wrong. Murphy's Law, everything is going to be awful. And it wasn't. It was actually really, really great. What I really loved about the expo was that there was genuinely something for everyone. You saw the people walking through the door, there was like children and there were teenagers, there were adults, there was all different sorts of people just kind of mingling around, and Book Expo Australia did such a great job of catering to such a wide variety of people and such a wide variety of interests. There were talks about publishing, there were talks about a whole variety of genres, the fantasy, horror, thriller, crime. Yeah, there was so many things. I do sort of selfishly, because it's what I'm most interested in, wish that there were more things talking about YA. I think from what I saw of the schedules and what I can remember, there were only about 3 or 4 seminars or talks about YA. But that's just me being selfish. All the other genres had only about 3 or 4 things as well, so fans of all that would be disappointed there wasn't more as well. But that's just how these things go. I'm alright with it. It's such a small grievance is that there were not enough things about YA. Yeah, so like I was saying, there is something for everyone. There was such an insane variety. There were things on the schedule that seemed a bit random. There was a yogi talking about meditation, and I went into the room going, what are they doing with a yogi here? And then I realized he'd actually authored a book, so it seemed a little bit less random. Everything was inclusive. No matter what you did or what you're interested in, what you were writing or reading or anything, there was something for you at this expo. Another thing I really loved was that in addition to catering to everyone with different interests, they catered to a whole bunch of different age groups. Like I mentioned, there were kids, teens, adults, a variety of different ages and obviously different entertainment needs, and they catered for that. What my favorite part of the whole thing was they had this little reading nook set up. It was just like this massive square of space with a whole bunch of beanbags scattered everywhere. So especially for the parents who brought their kids or even just tired older people, you could go buy a book. Oh my gosh, there were so many books and so many cheap books. I am so surprised I didn't walk away with more. I had to exercise so much willpower to not spend all my money on books because I physically couldn't afford it, but it was so tempting. Everything was so cheap and so available. But yeah, so I mean the doors were open from I think 8:39 to 5:30, 6-ish. So it was open all day, and wandering around with young kids who get bored or tired, just to have that sort of reading space there for them to go have a rest. I saw a fair few adults having a rest down on the beanbags, which was great. I think it was such an interesting and thoughtful inclusion just to put that there. They also had an acoustic singer-songwriter who wasn't personally to my taste, but people seemed to be enjoying her. She was there for, I think, the Saturday and the Sunday, maybe the Friday as well, I don't remember, but she was there. So those 2 days sort of entertaining, and next to her they had like medieval cosplayers and like sword fighting dudes, which was super entertaining. They had pirates, Celtic warriors, a princess, and there was one other guy, I don't remember what he was, but I mean, they were there, they were entertaining. They had like this whole performance planned out and choreographed, and it was amazing. It was impressive, and I wanted to like be in there. They were doing workshops, like quick little workshops of people learning how to stage play, and it was fun. Obviously, I can't be entirely positive because that's not helpful to anyone. But all the small criticisms that I can make simply, I think, are just sort of teething year problems. It's their first year putting it on. They really, they had no idea of the sort of turnout or any of that. I think just majorly the one issue that I found over the weekend was that it was a little disorganized. It could have benefited from a little more organization. I think I heard that one of the people supposed to talk just didn't show up, and no one was informed. No, I don't know what happened there. I just saw it over Twitter, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But over the weekend, there were a bit, as a volunteer, going, where do you want me, where do you need me? And I'm going, oh, I don't actually know. It's it is a first year problem, so I'm hoping that having this information that they have now, they can go into next year going, okay, this is what went wrong, this is what we need to organize. But again, it's just, this is the first year they've put it on. This is their trial run, if you will. It's their teething year, and I genuinely support them, and I will support them for the however long they go on for. Hopefully it's a really long time. I would love to see this expo continue. I think it's absolutely amazing. I mean, I said in my intro video that the reason I'm doing BookTube is because I wanted to meet people, and that's why I volunteered as well. And I did. I made a whole bunch of friends, people to go to with questions, which is so great. Okay, so I do have a tiny haul, which is mostly just free books. So the free books are actually not anything that I would usually read, but with these books, I felt like A, they were free, and B, I need to expand my reading horizons. I can't be strictly YA forever. So one of them is Still Alice, which I think was my favorite looking. Fallen Too Far, which I actually skimmed through and don't really enjoy. The Year of the Rat is, I think it's junior fiction, which actually my second favorite. Being Jade, which again isn't my speed, but it does sound interesting. Bloodline, which is the first in a trilogy, and this one, which is my favorite looking cover, because look how pretty that is. This one is called Sorry. This one is the one I got for a gold coin donation. It is called A Kill in the Morning, and I actually think it sounds super interesting. It's based just after World War II, I think, and I am actually super excited to read this. I also got this rad Booktopia bag, which is cool, and a whole bunch of bookmarks. These ones are from Bookfari. They have cute little quotes on them, and just tickety sort of things at the back. Free Booktopia ones, and these ones I found while me and my friend were wandering around the exhibitors' stalls. This woman was giving away her bookmarks for free, so I took one of each because they are so pretty. They're fairy, mermaid sort of things, and they are so so gorgeous. I fell in love with her art, and I wish that I had the money to buy her books. She has pretty coloring books, she has like actual books, and I would have bought everything if I had had the money. As a child, okay, not even as a child, I'm still obsessed with fairies and fairy culture and like all the sort of mythical things like that. This one is super nice. There's like a little baby inside there, and I am in love with her style. I'm in love with her coloring. I'm just in love with her art. So there's a website on the back of these. I'm going to link down in the description, and if this is your sort of thing that you're interested in, please go and check it out. She's so talented, and she was so nice, and it's great. Like, all of these are so nice. This is my favorite. It's the prettiest one, and then there's this as well. That's the last one. But that is the end of my Book Expo sort of recap. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you live in Sydney, please consider going next year, barring some kind of emergency or natural disaster. I'm almost certainly going to be there, hopefully as a volunteer. I want to really get involved again. So yeah, if you're in Sydney, or if you're in Australia and want to consider coming to Sydney for Book Expo Australia, I absolutely recommend doing it. I had the best time. I had the best weekend. So thank you, Book Expo, for such a great weekend, and everyone else, please consider supporting. Follow them on Twitter and all that stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!